Hi, everyone. I got to do something I never thought I was going to be able to do. Only one other time has this happened in history where a DC animated film got to be displayed in theaters. The last time it happened, I'm going to have to remember the exact date, was Mask of the Phantasm. For financial reasons, they didn't do it anymore. And I never thought that I would have a chance to see Kevin Conroy, Bruce Timm, and Mark Hamill and Tara Strong work together on something and it be presented in the big screen.
Lucky. I didn't actually get to see this in theaters, but it was released digitally like around midnight. So that's how I got to see the movie.
Oh, it was gorgeous. This is the only movie other than Avengers that when I saw the credits hit, there was thunderous applause. I've never had that happen. This didn't happen in Batman v Superman. Also, the attendance for this movie, the theater was packed. I live in a town, give or take, of 3,000 some odd people. The town I went to had roughly 15. There was maybe 15 to 20 people, or I say 15,000 by the way, 15 to 20 people that showed up for BVS and all the big blockbusters. That theater was packed and people were standing in the hallways for this to show up.
How many
something?
What's the maximum capacity for your
for the auditorium? For the theater that I was in, I want to say the maximum capacity was probably you could fit. There's I want to say 15 rows and then 4 on the bottom, and they're probably 20 across. So 15 for 19 by 20.
I'll do the math on there later.
Okay, but it's 19. It's 19 by 20. There was a.
Is that the biggest theater and you have
that they have there, and it was packed.
Wow.
It may have been. It was on a Monday night. People normally are going out to movies.
Even more impressive. I gotta say.
Yeah, but it was just. And what movie are we talking about? Well, talking about this right here, which more than one person had at the movie to fact check with. That's how nuts this thing got. But yeah, little something fell. Not important. This movie, I have to ask you something. This was released digitally. Did you have the whole monologue before the actual movie started with him starting in Star Wars?
No, I didn't get to see that.
Okay, then I gotta talk about this. This picture started out with a picture of him, of Mark Hamill, and George Lucas. And it had the date on it, 1983. I'm like, what are they doing? And they're talking about him and his process, how he got his part as Luke Skywalker. And going through all this and all that. And then they're talking about this team that they're bringing together for the animated series and all these things. And I want to do this so badly. And he's like, I want it to be so bad. I'm only taking a part of someone who was a first time done. Like no one's ever done him before. And he's like, this could be so great. I could do Hugo Strange. I could do Ra's al Ghul. I could do Two-Face. I could do all this. And then the last person, bottom of his freaking list, was Joker. He wanted to, under no set of circumstances, he's like, I'm Luke Skywalker. I can't do this. There's no way the media firestorm you would start if I was him. It just doesn't happen. And they're going through, they do all these reads, and he got a call almost immediately. He's like, we want you to do the Joker. And I'm just like, I can't. He's like, I physically, I can't do this. And he got through this whole process. He finally went to do it. And he's talking about the page that he got for notes to think of his laugh and his personality. And it was a black and white photo of what the Joker would look like in the animation. And 3 words. Don't think Nicholson.
Oh.
And he's like, well, of course I want to follow Jack. Why wouldn't you? The best Mark Hamill doing a Jack Nicholson impersonation ever. And going through all this stuff about how he's talking about all these other people that have done Joker over the years. And he's talking about his peaks and valleys of why he wanted to give up this character and other things. He's talking about pompously announcing on Twitter that he was going to quit being the Joker after Arkham Asylum came out and all these other things. I really hope they release that on DVD. because it's a good 20-minute long clip of just gold of sitting with Mark Hamill going through his life before he was the Joker.
I need to find that immediately.
It's so cool, dude. Anyone that got to see it in theaters, I was praying that that was released digitally. But I'm so glad I got to see it. And I went there with 2 avid Star Wars nuts. So them getting to see that was great. But now we're to what you actually got to see. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to explain kind of the story for, the 3 people who are not aware. As Batman hunts for the escaped Joker, the clown prince of crime attacks the Gordon family to prove a diabolical point, mirroring his own fall into madness. Yeah, this is one of the greatest Batman stories in the comics, and a lot of people will agree it's the definitive origin for the Joker, even though part of the greatness of the Joker is that he has no origin. His past is a mystery.
Mm-hmm. No matter what the New 52 would like to tell you that he has a name, I don't care what they say. It's not changing in my opinion.
Yeah, this is like permanently lodged into my headcanon. This origin.
Yes.
And even that is not entirely accurate, because the Joker even says, if I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice.
That is one of the best lines that's ever been written for the Joker in history.
Amen. Speaking of which, let's start with the absolute positive of this movie. The voice casts. How great is it that Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are not just back doing their iconic voices, but lending their voices to the greatest story in comics.
And this is the one thing that he's like, I'm not doing an animated movie. Or he's like, I don't want to do the Joker again, and let's do Killing Joke. And all of a sudden they're like, well, Mark. And that was another thing on that is they're going to do the Killing Joke. And then all of a sudden just like, you go from elation of, yes, I get to do it. And then all of a sudden it just comes to, oh no, I really got to deliver now. And I have never actually squealed in a movie. I full-fledged squealed the first time the Joker talks at that carnival. I was losing it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. The art animation that Bruce Timm, no one on this planet, I don't care what you say or where they're from, no one touches animation quality, in my humble opinion, like Bruce Timm.
Yeah. During the period where Bruce Timm kind of left producing the DC films, I'll admit some of them kind of went downhill. But when he came back with Justice League, Gods and Monsters, and now this, I'm like, there it is. There's that quality that I miss.
Yeah, there's the guy we like. You and that Dini fella, we like you.
I hope he sticks around for some more.
Man, I hope so, because you can tell he wanted to do this so bad. But yes, the positives. One, a huge positive. And I reread through that thing after we came back, and it's verbatim in there. The scene when they're going through the roller coaster.
Ooh, my favorite scene.
They turned that into a song and dance number. They created music around it. They made it match perfectly, like it was not something they just made up on the spot for the movie. It sounded like it'd been that the whole time. They did not need to do that.
And yet they did it anyway.
And they did it anyway. There's so many of those they didn't need to do that moments in here that maybe like that photo when they show all the different times that the Joker's been caught. They had the Jack Nicholson in like the sunglasses in the commercial from the whole, oh, gotta love that Joker, to the whole Heath Ledger sitting on the bench in the cell with his get up in there. I'm like, and all of a sudden it's leaving. I'm like, no, there was more on there. Bring that freaking picture back.
Well, there's one that one we have to talk about. The Detective Comics number, was it 37?
Oh yeah, they showed the first time they ever saw him when Gordon's putting the freaking scrapbook together. Like,
so good.
Bruce, damn you, magnificent man. Yes. And the iconic scene, the iconic shot, if you will.
Which one? Because there's a couple.
No, I mean literally shot.
Oh.
When that door opens and you see her and just the glance and the half-shadowed face, and she gets blasted onto that coffee table. There's a scene in Arkham Knight. I'm going to wave my hands. If you are a Batman fan and you have not played Arkham Knight, you either can't afford a console or you're a heathen. One of the two. Or you're not a gamer. One of those three. But I'm going to wave my hands like this. When I re-wave them like that, spoiler over. Joker gets in Batman's, or like the psyche of the Joker gets in Batman's head because he has his blood injected in him. And he gets blasted with Scarecrow toxin. So the entire time you're playing this game, you have Batman comic moments fed through your brain as if the Joker's making you relive them. You go into Oracle's tower and you drop in, and it's no longer looking like her tower. It's looking like her college bedroom. So you get to, while not being able to stop it, watch her go and answer the door to go meet her friend Christine or whatever her name was, and you get to see him blow her clean onto the table like that again. I'm like, they're not beating it. They just did the Killing Joke. The whole nine, you see him take the pictures and leave. I'm like, yep, can't top it. Oh, my Lord. Okay, spoiler over. When they're like, it's a common manifestation in librarians. She's imagining she's a coffee table edition. The jacket is a bit damaged, and the spine has a hole in it, or whatever he said.
Kids, you should see this. Mark Hamill even says you should see this.
Yeah, and there is another line from Arkham Knight that makes that scene, that comic book, so much better. When in his mind he realizes that he paralyzed Batgirl, because in the comics he doesn't know. But in this game, in your head, he is like, this version of him is like, I didn't even realize I paralyzed her. I didn't even mean to do it, to be honest. I mean, seriously, I was aiming for her head.
Wow.
And then he's like, I always had a soft spot for old Barbara. Right in between her C3 and C2 vertebrae. Oh, my Lord.
Good God.
Like, wow, Hamill, you get to go off the chains, but we're getting back to this movie. This was, oh, my Lord. They showed, okay. I'm going to ask a serious question, and then you can go to your positives.
Okay.
Take out the good amount of blood that was shown whenever someone got shot, and take out the pictures of Barbara. Don't show them, but imply that he saw them. Do you think this thing is rated R? Because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't think that was a rated R movie if you took out the blood and the 10 seconds of showing Barbara's pictures.
I don't know. Actually, no, you're kind of right. I think the blood was the only reason why this is rated R. And you know what was my first kind of dead giveaway of that? There were hardly any swear words.
Like they said damn, they said the Lord's name in vain a few times.
I never heard the F-bomb once.
You said what the fig. But, yeah.
Yeah. I guess when it comes to animation, standards are a little bit different.
I guess. I don't know many R-rated animated films.
Yeah.
There are some, but you go to your positives of the Killing Joke part, then we're going to discuss the prologue. No, the prologue? Prelogue?
We'll just call it the first half of the film.
The first half. We'll discuss that afterwards, but go on.
Okay. There's a lot of general positives to have, like the animation. The animation is gorgeous. I love the way they recreated the flashback scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my favorite shots are like all the iconic moments from the comic, like at the end of the flashbacks when you finally see like the Joker's transformation.
Perfect.
Could not be better.
Mhm.
As far as the voice cast, Ray Wise was an interesting choice to play Commissioner Gordon. Have you ever seen the show Reaper on the CW?
I've not seen the show Reaper, but I'm sitting there listening, and I'm like, I'm sitting in my head. I'm like, I swear to God, that is Ray Wise. And then all of a sudden, the buddy next to me who's a Star Wars nut, he goes, well, that was kind of cool to hear his voice. My mom really likes Young and the Restless. I'm like, I knew it.
But seriously, though, I thought he did great as a damaged, kind of broken, but still riding that line of sanity version of Gordon.
Mhm.
To be honest, I don't even remember who voiced him in the animated series.
It's something Costings. Because I had to look it up on the way home to make sure, because they were like, who voiced him in the thing? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Ray Wise.
But no, it turned out to actually be Ray Wise.
Gordon. Well, no, in the animated series.
In the animated series, it's someone else. But
DAS. Jim Gordon. DAS. Keep going.
Okay. This one scene is the one I was most nervous about. It's the Joker's monologue.
Bob Hastings. Sorry.
Bob Hastings. Okay. Yep. The Joker's monologue. I was super nervous about that scene because even though Mark Hamill's performed that live at least once or twice at like conventions, still the best version until I saw the movie, the best version of that monologue I've ever heard was by a YouTuber named P. Gertz.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, if you haven't heard of it, look up P. Gertz, the Killing Joke monologue. It is amazing. It's one of the best impersonations of Mark Hamill, not done by Troy Baker.
Yeah.
And Troy Baker does a pretty good Joker too.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's a pretty high bar for this movie. Hamill did it. Yeah. So like some like of the delivery, I was like I'm still a little bit like on, but
it was mostly Harvey, right? Bullock.
Yeah. I was not really a fan of Harvey in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
His voice was just too gravelly.
Yeah.
Tara Strong as Batgirl. This is transitioning into the first 30 minutes, but mm-hmm. Tara Strong. This is how I love Tara Strong.
Mm-hmm.
And she's voiced a bunch of different DC heroes and villains. Mm-hmm. Like people forget that she's also the voice of Raven in Teen Titans.
She's also the voice of Timmy Turner.
Yep, and Dill Pickles.
Just
and
like
Bubbles.
Just like, come on.
Fun fact. Like when I first heard Raven in the Teen Titans animated series, I could have sworn it was Grey Delisle at first. Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That happens sometimes. Like every once in a while, I'll get Grey Delisle, Kat Susei, and Tara Strong confused at first until I get used to their voice. I'm like, oh, okay, that's who that is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Tara Strong did a really good job voicing an older Batgirl in this movie, which unfortunately leads us to the. All right, let's rip off the Band-Aid. There's a scene that I'm really not happy about.
Okay. I have to get this out there because you and me are going to be on unbelievably total opposite sides of the fence about this. Okay, I have to get this out there. There are a unbelievably large amount of people that are like, this has never been done before. This is a brand new thing.
Hold on.
And I know you're not one of them.
Okay, good.
I know you're not one of them because I know you would look stuff up before you said it or you would look things in. There's comic books where Bruce Wayne has gotten her pregnant and point blank told her to say that it was dicks. Just say it's Nightwings. Just don't. This is a Bruce Timm thing. Yep. I don't know why it's gotten into his head, but it was in the latter half of the season of the animated series, like the New Adventures one where you actually had Nightwing, and it was unbelievably heavily implied
in Batman Beyond.
Heavily implied. Go on.
And you know what? I was never a fan of that to begin with.
Yep. I was just getting that out there for anyone that didn't know. Go on.
What bothers me about it is that in the movie, it comes off as a big-lipped alligator moment. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, anyone who, if anyone is a fan of the Nostalgia Critic, he and Lindsay Ellis have come up with this term called the big-lipped alligator moment. It was named after this one scene in All Dogs Go to Heaven, this one random musical number.
All right, I get it. Go ahead.
Okay, my point is, in the movie, Bruce and Babs have sex on the rooftop, but it has little to no effect on the story. I understand the intention of like the first half of this movie was to give Barbara more of a character arc as opposed to simply being a plot device. Mm-hmm. The problem is there isn't connective tissue. Like there isn't enough connective tissue to bind the two halves together. However, I will say a positive that taken on its own merits, and taking out the creepiness of the Bruce Babs relationship, it actually is a pretty decent Batgirl story, just as a standalone adventure.
Okay.
It's just there are things that kind of drag it down.
Yeah.
Got any more to elaborate?
Okay. I would have loved to have seen a version of that first half that was an hour and a half long. Because in my opinion, there is almost 99% of all stories can work. Still a little bit of creep factor there no matter what, because it's Jim Gordon's daughter. I think there is a way where you could have made that work a little bit better. And all the times that Bruce Timm has done this has been the only time where someone was like, well, you finally get to do it, Bruce. And they let him do it in a prologue that was like a half an hour to 20 minutes long. The whole crime thing with that family, I could have taken an hour and a half and made that an actual Batgirl movie.
Yes.
And then if you would have had, I completely understand what they were trying to pull off with her having an attraction toward him. It's the unstoppable whatever dude that's her trainer, mentor, and you end up, it's not Stockholm Syndrome, but it's like what is a good term for Stockholm Syndrome? Because I can't think of one. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, there's another term for it. I'm like, maybe Oedipus complex.
Oedipus complex. It's
something like that. Correct us in the comments if
it's basically something where through great respect and a great amount of time spent with someone, whether or not you know you're falling for them, you fall for them because of them being like your role model, your leader. They turn into this object to you. And whether you believe it or not, or whatever, it's your true intentions, like feelings start forming and it's just there and it's something you can't shake. Like you're having to lie about it being a yoga instructor and talking about how like there's no other class like this. This is the one teacher. This is it. And they were trying to describe that good. If they would have just had like an hour and a half to flush that out, it would have been fine. My biggest issue was not that sex scene, because in my opinion, like I said, what they were trying to do, even though it seemed a little rushed, to me worked. They were trying to make some big split up moment where that was the thing that pissed him off more than anything. And it takes a lot to piss Batman off to the point where he won't talk to you, because he'll begrudgingly talk to you and ignore you, but still make the contact. My biggest thing was I thought that this whole prologue or prelogue, whatever it is, I'm sorry, was to amp up Batgirl. And they even say this is back when crime fighting was all hootin' and hollering and fun and whatever. First thing, Semi gets away from her. Second thing, she gets sent on a wild goose chase and gets the wrong luggage. Third thing, she gets sprayed with freaking paralyzing mace and gets knocked out and locks herself in a freaking locks herself in a safe.
Hold on, wait. Can I just cut in and say this? They explain that she's been at this for 3 years. That does not feel like 3 years experience.
It doesn't feel 3 years experience. And 3 years under Batman is 15 for most people. Then she gets trapped into thinking that, oh, I got killed a crime lord and I was dumb enough to open the door when there's blood spilling out of it. And then Batman had to save me. That was my biggest problem. Like, you're trying to amp up this awesome character so that you have feelings for her. So then it goes into the whole, oh, she gets shot. Bruce go beat the living tar out of him, and he needs to end it because we grew so close to this character because of that. And I'm like, no, you had this guy that had a crush on her just ring her around the town for a while. Like, what? No. That wasn't what I thought you were doing. And I get what they're trying to say. It's she was getting messed with because of feelings. And he got into her head. And she is what made him make the dumb, stupid decision to finally, move on old Batsy. She even says that. She says, you made me do this. And she comes to a point to where she almost beats that guy clear to death. And she gets into that abyss they talk about that I love hearing Batman talk about all the time.
That line I thought was great. It's one of my favorite parts of the prologue.
And
that's totally something Batman would say.
It is. It's also like what he says to, I'm sorry, everybody. I thought I silenced my phone, but apparently I did. There is a line in Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. The last thing he says to Owlman, he whips this dual-balled, Ebola. Almost forgot the term. Whips it at him, throws it at him. He's like, the difference between, yes, both of us have stared into the abyss. The difference is you blinked. But it's something to that degree. It's one of the most badass lines that Batman has ever said. People go watch that animated film. It's one of the only animated films that does not have Bruce Greenwood in it that I will say had a really good Batman voice actor. I can't think of the dude's name, but that is one of the biggest Batman lines. And that is one of the things where they keep prying and prodding, and that was help for setup. She got close to killing someone, so she stopped. This whole thing is about how close are you to that line daily. The one bad day thing, he's not completely wrong. A lot of people are that close. We see it on the news every day. And even said that. He's like, how close we've come to World War III from just a flock of
a flock of geese.
Flock of geese. Thank you. I was going to say pelicans. A flock of geese on a computer screen. What is the other line he says? You are holding on. You hold on so much to reality that you fail to see the reality of the situation. It's a great thing. But, okay, going back to what I was saying before, all the stuff that they were trying to build in that would have made a great animated movie. That's my biggest problem with the prologue. I can't say honestly, other than outside of Harvey's delivery sometimes, that I had a single issue with the actual Killing Joke movie. Like just there, nothing. I can't think of a thing to complain about.
Yeah, I think to wrap up my overall thoughts, I had no problem. I had no problem with the content, just the structuring and my issues with the Bruce Babs relationship is not exclusive to this movie. It's something I've never liked.
Oh, you and 98% of the population.
But unlike the 98% of the population, I'm well versed in Bruce Timm's work with DC.
Yeah, I don't know what triggered it, people. I can't tell you. Everybody wants to know that ever-arching secret of what made him like this so much. I don't know.
You know what? The one positive thing about that relationship is a very funny scene in Mystery of the Batwoman, where Babs is on the phone, and Bruce's way of dealing with it is just crumpling up a piece of paper. I'm sorry, we're going through a tunnel. Connection is dropping. I'll talk to you later.
That's right.
And of course, Tim Drake kind of making snide remarks on the side.
Yes, the Tim Drake / Jason Todd that they had back then. People, anything that Bruce Timm has touched, go watch it. You can't, I'm sorry. Like I've said before, the dude is the king of animation, in my opinion, from a producing standpoint. The dude is nuts. But I think we've also, did they have the special, I can words good. Special, like after the credits thing about making the music for you?
That I haven't seen, but there's something else I want to talk about after you finish what you got.
That was it. I was just wondering if you've seen it.
Nope.
They went okay. Well, they showed a little bit of Mark sitting in his chair trying to voice act while singing, and it's hilarious trying to watch him sit in a chair while voice acting as a Joker because he can't. Mark Hamill. The one thing Kevin Conroy has always said, he's like, it is the one thing that is ever difficult about recording Batman is trying to compete with Mark. Like you'll see Kevin just like holding his hands and like voicing like this and like whatever, because he's a theatrically trained actor, so he can concentrate pretty well. Mark is a hamster on speed when he is doing the Joker. But they talked about how we didn't realize Mark was a good singer and all this and all that and this whatever, and they going through the process of getting the best strings player in town and showing how they matched it and how they made that into a musical from just print on paper and how they wanted to have the exact words. Like I said, people, I pray to God that this stuff is on that DVD and wasn't just in theaters, because that would be just highway robbery that someone didn't get to see it. But back to your point.
Oh, something I found today that will be on the DVD, a sneak peek of Justice League Dark. Oh, and here's the best part. Matt Ryan is back as Constantine.
Really?
Yep.
What?
I haven't looked up the other cast. The usual Justice League voices are back. Jason O'Mara's Batman.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah.
That is awesome.
But Matt Ryan is Constantine, and oh, it's so good. I want that movie now.
Oh, by the way, right now, because you said that, I have to say this, and I'm going to make a bet with you to how fast we can share the article when we find it. There is going to be a person, I'm partially looking to see if there is one now. There's going to be moviepilot.com. I guarantee you'll be the one that's going, Matt Ryan is back as Constantine in the Justice League Dark movie. Click on the article, but it's the animated one.
Oh, I so want to share that article just to see people's reaction.
And I don't know when it's going to come, but I can guarantee you it's going to be moviepilot.com is the first ones that do it. That or comicbook.com, because they're really notorious for that sometimes. But yeah, it's going to happen. But do you have anything else
final
to
thoughts?
add? Final thoughts. I'm so happy this got to get made. give or take what we think about that prologue, people, they are literally ripping pages. I've said this for stuff before. They are literally just going, well, there's that scene, shrink, and just gluing it and letting animators just take the frames off. That's what they did. From you hearing the almost audible, readable snap of him flipping the solitaire cards and nothing and just going and the whole, I was a 5-year-old kid when I saw him playing solitaire in that room. Just like, it's actually here. He's going to have that talk about them killing each other. Oh, this is, I will not say it's perfect. This is a 4.5 out of 5 for me. But it is dang close to being one of the best animated movies I've ever seen for pure adaptation quality. Adaptation quality, yes. For animation, for the voice cast, everything. It would have been a 5 if Harvey would have not been mailing it a little bit, but that's just me.
I dropped a little bit lower. I'm at a 4 out of 5. Still one of the better animated movies. I'd say it's somewhere in like the either top 5 or top 10 for me out of the DC movies. But the voice casting was strong. The animation was incredible, especially when ripping panels right from the graphic novel. Like a little bit of hiccups in the beginning, but the second half, once you actually see the Joker, it's all uphill from there.
Mm-hmm. I have to ask you, I don't know if yours is going to be the same as mine. What is your favorite DC animated movie?
Under the Red Hood.
Well, we have the same answer. Number 2?
Number 2, that's a little bit tougher. It's back and forth between Justice League, Gods and Monsters, and Mask of the Phantasm.
Okay, Mask of the Phantasm is a good one. I was going to say it is an incredibly close tie for me, and then everything else is just neck and neck going down almost in release. But the Justice League, the Battle on Two Earths.
Oh, Crisis on Two Earths.
Crisis on Two Earths, sorry. And then the Batman Superman Apocalypse.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So good. That battle with Wonder Woman and the Fates. Or and not the Fates, the big Granny Goodness's ring of the 3 or 4 girls. Gosh dang, I'm gonna get corrected. But that fight and the fight at the Kent farm between Doomsday, Kara, and Clark, and just seeing Ma and Pa Kent roll in after their house is destroyed. Hi, son. Hi, Mom.
So good.
So good. But all right. Overall, we'll say go see it. Will you get irritated by a possible creep factor of a Bruce Timm fantasy? Maybe. We don't know. But you leave your opinion in the comments. Tell us why I'm wrong. Tell us why whoever you think is wrong. Please, we don't care. We'll read them. So from now, I'm Brock Emmerich. You can find me at Organoid Zero on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at WayneTech7. In some of the 1,500 groups that we have, I just learned we had a Pokemon Go group today. Didn't know that, so there's another one. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me Captain K482 on Twitter, Coach K482 on Letterboxd. At least a majority of the Facebook groups under Geeks and Gamers. And last but not least, subscribe to our stuff, the YouTube channel, geeksgamers.com, and the website, geeksgamers.com, which has geek points that you can build up, gain a bunch of those on the geek boards, talk about all the different conversations and stuff. And stay tuned to this channel for whatever our next review is. Possibly Jason Bourne, maybe?
Possibly. If not, it'll at least be Suicide Squad. That's coming up in a few weeks. So
yeah, Suicide Squad is a definite one, but
yep.
Stay tuned for something.
stay tuned for something. I never was a huge fan of the Bourne series, but if we're gonna do a review on it, I will power through the movies quick and then, yeah. So you can yell at me for that too in the comments if you want, whichever. So, all right. Thank you everyone for watching. Like always, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.